Did you know? Possible contact with the Americas before the Europeans? 24 crazy facts. Strong, moderate, and debated. Number 1. Did you know? Norse explorers established a settlement in North America nearly 500 years before Columbus.
Strong evidence archaeologists at L'Anse aux Meadows in Newfoundland uncovered Norse-style turf buildings, ironworking debris, tools, and other artifacts. Tree ring evidence now shows that Norse people were cutting wood there in 1021 AD, making this the clearest proven case of Europeans reaching the Americas before Columbus.
Number 2. Did you know? The sweet potato traveled from South America to Polynesia before Europeans entered the Pacific.
Strong evidence. The sweet potato originated in tropical America but was being cultivated across Polynesia before European exploration. Botanical, archaeological, and linguistic evidence together make it one of the strongest indicators that Polynesians and South Americans had some form of pre-Columbian contact.
Number 3. Did you know? Polynesians and South Americans used remarkably similar words for the sweet potato.
Strong evidence forms such as Kamara and Kamala occur throughout Polynesia, while related words were used in parts of northwestern South America. Because both the plant and a similar name cross the Pacific, many scholars consider human transportation more likely than the accidental drifting of seeds alone.
Number 4. Did you know? DNA shows that Polynesians and indigenous South Americans met before European arrival.
Strong evidence genome-wide research found Native American ancestry in several eastern Polynesian populations, with the ancestral mixing estimated to have occurred centuries before Europeans reached the region. The Native American contribution appears most closely related to indigenous peoples from northern South America, although researchers still debate the exact location and direction of the encounter.
Number 5. Did you know? Ancient Rapa Nui DNA supports pre-European contact with Native Americans.
Strong evidence. A 2024 study of ancient individuals from Rapa Nui found Native American ancestry dating from before sustained European contact. This strengthens the conclusion that the genetic signal in present-day Polynesians is not merely the result of later colonial-era migration.
Number 6. Did you know? People regularly traded across the Bering Strait long before Columbus.
Strong evidence. The narrow waters between Siberia and Alaska did not completely separate Asia and America. Indigenous peoples traveled in seaworthy skin boats and maintained trade, family, and cultural relationships across the region, creating a continuing channel of contact between the two continents.
Number 7. Did you know? East Asian metal reached Arctic Alaska before Europeans arrived.
Strong evidence archaeological sites in Alaska have produced cast bronze objects and iron artifacts associated with trade networks extending into Eurasia. These finds demonstrate that manufactured materials could move from Asia into North America through indigenous exchange systems centuries before Columbus, even when the original makers never crossed the entire distance themselves.
Number 8. Did you know? Tropical hookworms reached the Americas in ancient times.
Strong evidence for a non-Arctic route, exact route debated hookworm remains have been identified in pre-Columbian human remains and ancient waste deposits in South America. Because the parasites require warm conditions during parts of their life cycle, researchers have argued that infected people probably entered by a warm, coastal, or maritime route, rather than carrying the parasites only through freezing Beringia.
Number 9. Did you know? Polynesian navigation made intentional voyages to the Americas entirely possible.
Moderate supporting evidence. Polynesian navigators settled islands separated by thousands of miles of open ocean, using detailed knowledge of stars, swells, winds, currents, clouds, and birds. Navigational capability does not by itself prove a voyage to America, but it removes the old objection that such contact would have been technologically impossible.
Number 10. Did you know? Chicken bones in Chile may record a Polynesian visit before the Spanish arrived.
Moderate but contested evidence. Chicken bones excavated at El Arenal in Chile were initially radiocarbon dated to before European colonization, and early genetic analysis connected them with Pacific chickens. Later researchers questioned the dates and genetic interpretation, so the chickens remain debated rather than settled evidence.
Number 11. Did you know? The Chumash built sewn plank canoes resembling boats from the Pacific.
Moderate but debated evidence. The Chumash Tamil was a sophisticated seagoing canoe made from wooden planks sewn together and sealed with natural materials. Some researchers have proposed connections with Polynesian boat building and maritime vocabulary, while others maintain that the Chumash developed the technology independently from their own long maritime tradition.
Number 12. Did you know? Disabled Japanese vessels have repeatedly drifted across the Pacific to North America?
Moderate supporting evidence. Historical accounts document boats from Japan being carried by winds and the Kuroshio North Pacific Current system toward Alaska and the western coast of North America. These later recorded voyages do not prove a specific pre-Columbian landing, but they demonstrate that accidental Asian contact was physically possible and probably occurred occasionally.
Number 13. Did you know? Ocean-crossing drift voyagers are statistically difficult to rule out?
Moderate supporting evidence, computer modeling, and recorded maritime accidents show that boats, survivors, floating artifacts, and plants can cross oceans under favorable wind and current conditions. Researchers caution that demonstrating possibility is not the same as identifying a particular voyage, but complete isolation over thousands of years is increasingly difficult to assume.
Number 14. Did you know? Bottle gourds crossed from the Old World to the Americas thousands of years ago?
Moderate evidence of biological movement. Bottle gourds originated outside the Americas, yet were used by ancient American peoples very early. Experiments and genetic studies suggest that gourds could remain viable after floating across the Atlantic, although human transportation has also been considered. Therefore, the plant confirms transoceanic movement, and possible, but not necessarily human contact.
Number 15. Did you know? Coconuts on the Pacific coast of the Americas may preserve evidence of an early ocean crossing.
Moderate but debated evidence. Early Spanish observers reported coconut palms along portions of the Pacific coast, and some genetic research has connected American coconuts with Indo-Pacific varieties. Coconuts can float long distances, however, so researchers debate whether they were brought by Pacific voyagers or arrived naturally.
Number 16. Did you know? An American medicinal plant may have reached the Pacific before European exploration.
Moderate but uncertain evidence. The distribution of Ageratum conozoides, sometimes called billygoat weed, has been cited as a possible example of a New World plant transported westward by people. Establishing its exact pre-European age and original range is difficult, so it remains an intriguing botanical indicator rather than conclusive proof.
Number 17. Did you know? Haplogroup X remains one of the most discussed Native American DNA puzzles.
Debated evidence. The Native American branch known as X2A occurs in some North American indigenous populations, while other branches of haplogroup X are found in Europe, Western Asia, and the Middle East. Most geneticists connect X2A to ancient northeastern Eurasian or Beringian populations, but its unusual distribution has encouraged continuing arguments that additional migration routes should at least be investigated.
Number 18. Did you know? Some Amazonian peoples carry a faint genetic connection to Australasia.
Debated interpretation of strong genetic data. Several indigenous groups in Amazonia possess a genetic signal called Population Y, showing a distant relationship with peoples of Australasia. The signal is real, but researchers disagree on whether it represents an early population movement along the Pacific coast, population structure in ancient Asia before the settlement of America, or another migration history. It is not presently proof of a later Pacific voyage, but a point of continued debate.
Number 19. Did you know? Pottery from ancient Ecuador was compared with Japan's Jomon pottery.
Debated evidence. Valdivia pottery from Ecuador shares certain decorative and technical features with Jomon ceramics from Japan, leading some archaeologists to propose that fishermen or voyagers crossed the Pacific. Most specialists favor local development in Ecuador, but the similarities continue to appear in discussions of possible trans-Pacific diffusion.
Number 20. Did you know? A small terracotta head found in Mexico has been identified by some researchers as Roman.
Debated evidence. The Takaxic Calixtlahuaca head was reportedly recovered from a pre-Hispanic burial context, and scientific testing indicated that the object itself could be ancient. Critics question whether it truly entered the sealed deposit before Spanish times, while supporters consider it possible evidence that a Roman period object, perhaps carried indirectly, reached Mesoamerica.
Number 21. Did you know? Traces of cocaine and nicotine were reported in Egyptian mummies.
Highly debated evidence testing conducted in the 1990s reportedly detected substances associated with American coca and tobacco in several Egyptian mummies. Because contamination, laboratory procedure, plant identification, and possible Old World sources have not been satisfactorily resolved, This evidence remains highly controversial and should not be presented as established contact.
Number 22. Did you know? Scattered Asian-style metal and boat remains have been reported along the western coast?
Debated evidence objects interpreted as Asian iron, nails, timbers, or fragments of ship construction have occasionally been reported from Alaska to California. A few may reflect genuine early drift voyages or Arctic trade, but many lack secure archaeological context or may date from the later historic period, so each discovery must be evaluated separately.
Number 23. Did you know? Some Native American and Pacific words have been proposed as evidence of contact.
Debated evidence researchers have compared a limited number of words relating to boats, crops, and tools in Polynesian and American languages. The sweet potato vocabulary is the strongest example, while most other comparisons are disputed because short words can resemble one another by coincidence and languages can change dramatically over time.
Number 24. Did you know? Many independent clues point toward occasional contact rather than total isolation.
Strong overall pattern, but individual claims vary. The combined record includes a proven Norse settlement, continuous Bering Strait exchange, Polynesian Native American DNA, American crops in Polynesia, shared crop vocabulary, parasites, plants, boats, and navigational feasibility. Not every proposed artifact or biological similarity is valid, but the strongest evidence now supports at least several separate episodes of contact, while the moderate and debated clues suggest there may have been additional encounters not yet conclusively demonstrated. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. There is much more coming on American history.